What are the sort of steps in an ESOP lifecycle? So most people come and ask us about how to actually go about setting up an ESOP scheme and sort of how does this entire process work. So step one is actually for you to create an ESOP pool. Like I said, when you do a round of funding, you will see the pool as an obligation in your shareholder agreement itself. Investors basically tell you that as part of my funding, you will create a pool before my funding actually comes in. And you will create a pool representing 5% of the company. It could be like, let's say, 10,000 shares. So once the pool is, at least you have agreed to create a pool with your investors, next step is to actually draft a legal document called an ESOP scheme. And this is a document which lays out as to how your ESOP, your ESOP program will work, and how it can actually sort of function. So there's a legal document. You need to pass it by your board and shareholders, and get it adopted. Once you have this ESOP scheme in place, then you're set to actually go ahead and grant ESOPs to employees. So you'll typically communicate this to employees by virtue of a grant letter. It basically says, okay, as an employee, you are given X number of ESOPs, this is your vesting schedule, this is the strike price, and we expect you to sort of contribute to the growth of this company. And the vesting of these ESOPs happen over a period of time. In most cases, ESOPs are time-based vesting, but there could be performance-based vesting as well. To say that not just the passage of time, but every year or every, let's say, 6 months, I expect you to deliver certain metrics to me. And if you deliver those metrics, you get your allocation of ESOPs. If not, you're going to miss it out. So it could be performance-based as well. Regulation in India say that you need to have a 12-month, what is known as a 12-month cliff. So I can't have an ESOP starting to vest immediately. I need to have at least a gap of 12 months from grant to the first date of vesting, which is known as a cliff. And you will have vesting intervals here. Traditionally, people have thought about ESOPs on a yearly vesting basis, like vesting 25% every year for 4 years. But with the usage of software to manage ESOPs, you can actually look at a far more aggressive vesting period. It could be quarterly or even monthly. Some companies actually grant ESOPs or vest ESOPs on a monthly basis, making it look as if it's a very critical component of the cash salary itself. So I have cash salary and I have ESOPs vesting this. So that's possible, especially if you use software. Once for a vested ESOP, the employee has the right to exercise the ESOP and actually become a shareholder in the company. And this has some tax implications. So some companies actually restrict exercise and say that, okay, I don't want you to pay tax just because you're becoming my shareholder, because you actually don't have a means to sell this share. So I will allow you to exercise your ESOP only when a liquidity event happens, when I am confident that either myself or my investor are going to take over these shares from you. And you're going to see cash in your hand, which you can use to pay tax. So some companies may actually restrict exercise. And finally, the chain gets completed when employee actually sells the share and realizes cash. That's when the entire chain sort of happens.
Revolutionize your startup's equity management with Qapita. Request a demo today.